Hello, this is Leanna. I'm a book artist from the beautiful Pacific Northwest. This is a book I'm working on. I'm going to share, but first I have an announcement. I don't know if you saw my video last time, but I had a giveaway. This is the wonderful giveaway, a fun fall giveaway. We did a drawing, pulled a name, and boom, Pam Van E, you are the winner of this delightful little giveaway. Congratulations! Down below you'll find my email address. Please go ahead and email me and send me your mailing information. Congratulations. So what I'm doing right here, I'm checking the size, how fat my book is. I have some more pages that I need to complete, and I need to have that in consideration of what I'm going to do. Because my book is already looking a little bit of alligator mouth, and that's not what I'm going for, I'm going to make a secret little pocket right here. So I'm just gluing the two side edges. I'm not going to put a little tab in it to show where it's at. I really want it to be something of a little surprise that people could discover. Like, you know, in houses sometimes when they go and do something to a house, some reconstruction, they'll find little things hidden in the walls. Well, that's what I want that little spot for. I want a little spot where something can be hidden in the wall. Here, what I'm doing, I'm picking out a different stencil. I wanted the stencil to match what was previously there. So I took a little peek and I found one that I liked, and I am going ahead and doing the little parts. Now this particular stencil has two different designs on it. I like that because pulling out one tool and you get a double bang right there. I like the little frilly and the little design. So this piece going on, this was from something I had for my Facebook group for a little challenge that I had. So I had this left, and I thought it looked perfect right here. Just a little collage of things. But the edge of this little paper doily, I wanted to make sure I give it more definition. I wanted to show up nicely on the page right here. So this little page, I want to put things on it, and I really still want to be mindful of what I'm putting. This little butterfly thing that I just showed you, this was from a tutorial that I did earlier. Use a plain white napkin and some stamps, and boom, you have something just fun. Make a little hinge, place it on, put it at the top, and you are ready to go. Now when you do your hinges, make sure you pay attention to where you're placing the hinge on your card. If you go too low or too high, you want to make sure that the thing can actually open up properly without the card being too high above your hinge and then hindering how it opens. So everything in here looked just too plain and too normal. I want it to look more aged. So I'm really going through and putting a little bit of texture on everything. Now, one thing I didn't want it though, I didn't want it looking all just brown. So you'll see me adding some other color later on. This thing right here, this is just a little scrap, that odd shape right there. When you're doing your stuff, don't disregard these funny little things. I'm going to use it exactly how it is, with the little scoop right there, and boom, I have a nice little pocket. Tucking things in, and I'm ready to go. So these are my ink. So I'm going to use this one, and let's see, what color is that? Why, that is Stormy Sky. So I realized I really use my mini inks. I do have the larger normal size inks, but I pull out this one all the time. It was really an eye-opener to me as I started thinking about it. The larger stamp pads are fabulous, but this one's just so convenient and you get all the nice colors. So with this blue, I'm just trying to, put it around a little bit, just create a little bit more interest for the eye. Here's another little card. Create another layer. Just once again, just creating something for the eye to see. I have scraps. I have scraps right on the right hand side of me. You can see some of them right there. I'm really picking up a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I'm just kind of playing with it, auditioning and seeing what might work in these places. It's a like this wasn't even what I was working on. I saw this little girl and I thought, hey, she's gonna fit perfectly there, and she does. She's just adorable. So going back to the other page though, I want to add some different layers. This I used earlier, and I have to tell you, this is actually a pair of shorts I got for 10 cents at a thrift shop, and I have just gotten so much use out of that. A little button. So that button's not a real button. That's a paper button, so I get the look of it without the bulk. And that other paper, the green paper, not this one, the other one. That's an old Stampin' Up paper, I think, that I've had for 20 years. So even using up stuff like that, and it just, that carries that green, that cheerfulness, earthiness, and a little bit of lace. Now, lace is sometimes hard to come by. Oh yeah, this is an old card that I ripped apart because I love the stamp on it. That card had actually never really been used, but I put it there. What was I saying before that? Oh, good golly, I don't even remember. If I think about it, I'll tell you. If not, I'm sure life will still be good. So I'm putting some stamping on there. You know, if your thing looks too normal, like, you know, it's a current everyday thing, go ahead and put your stamp. Oh yeah, I do remember that lace. So I have a lace curtain panel that I just cut up and use all the time. So there's so much lace that is so beautiful. Sometimes I feel guilty using it, you know. I don't know if any of you guys feel like that. I have some fabulous, fabulous lace, and my friend Jan actually sent me some of the most beautiful lace. But I can just freely use this without having this little guilt complex that that I'm using something so beautiful. So I just pull out my other lace and still look at it. So I'm going to get better one day, and I'm going to really start using all my other lace just faithfully because it is awesome. It should be used in this. So I'm just telling you that's what I do. So here's an old little telephone address things, you know, from one of those Rolodex type things. I did actually staple this on and then glued the bottom, and I'm just adding more scraps on there. Just get good use out of those scraps. So these are just really odds and ends sitting at the side of me, and I'm just kind of taking them and seeing where they fit. So as I flip through, this caught my eye. Once again, it just looked too bright and too normal, so I'm just taking some of my ink and I'm adding some texture. So this image isn't a really good one to see. You can't really see. It kind of looks funny there, but it actually turned out really nice. So on this one right here, once again, I'm using my stencil. I'm telling you, I do love my stencils. I get so much use out of them. So adding a little stencil, and then I'm auditioning things, try out different things. Don't you laugh? I just kind of throw it to the side. This was from something else I made, and I never ended up using it, but I decided it works perfect right here. So getting to work. So once again, using the stencils, you can get so much use out of your stencils and just create a whole new look. It gives it that age look. It gives it nice texture, and whatever design whatever design you put on it just adds to the story that you're telling. So this one has a kind of that lacy vintage look type design. So putting that on there, I really like how it turns out. I could do more. One other thing I was thinking about, so I'm almost done with this book, but at this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through it one more time, and I'm going to do a little bit more sewing. I haven't done a ton of sewing on things, and now that I know what I'm using, I can do sewing and make sure that I'm not adding just too much bulk or things to it. Sewing is such a nice thing. So I'm auditioning which way I want this to flip up, and I decided I want to the left, so I'm cutting that off, and I'm just going to glue that back side right there. Once again, just keeping in mind my bulk. I don't want to add any more because I want the book to be able to actually be on a bookshelf with other things beside it. This is just, once again, just a little scrap, and I'm putting it to good use right there in that fancy little spot. I love my glue. I did do glue the whole way, you know, so with this video, I've tried to edit out different things because you don't need to see me doing the full glue and all the time that it takes for stuff like that. I just want you to be able to see kind of the process of everything without like time standing still while all this stuff is happening. That's just repetitive. You don't need to see. So a little of this, a little of that, just tucking things in. Look at your page and see what fits and what you can do. One thing that I do, I try to pay attention how my eye moves across the page. So now this is a little thing that my tinfoil, this is one of my tinfoil things I did with the Tim Holtz. I'll put a link up above to the video of how you can do an embossing tinfoil. But what I was saying is that pay attention how your eye moves across the page. Naturally remove from left to right. So if you have your things that catch your eye on the left and then move your eye to the right, it just feels a little bit more comfortable. So I always keep that in mind and assess what things are looking like as I'm doing it. How is my eye moving across the page? Is it something fun? So I did determine that this beautiful ribbon is the seam binding ribbon. It was just too, it wasn't strong enough to hold together this book. So I needed to do something to strengthen it. So what I'm doing here, I'm taking some ribbon. This is just a soft, silky, satiny ribbon with some, what is that, glue. Put it along the edge, Fabri-Tac. I let it dry and then I finish it up. So there you go. That's what I have right here for today. Just doing one more little peek to see if something just hits me that I need to do. And of course there is. So on the next video, that'll be the last video of this book, and then I will be showing that, and then that's the last time that you can enter. So you have 2 more times that you can enter for this book. You can enter today down below, and then when I post next time you can enter, and I will be doing a drawing after that. So this is a little scrap. I'm telling you, scraps are just my best friend. I just add them in. So for me, when I do a book, I do some anchor pieces, then I go back and I add accents, then I go back and then I add stenciling, then I go back and I add a little this, a little that. I never do it on just one sitting and call it good. Now, I can't say I never do it. I mean, sometimes I'll just do a book and that's where it is. It's just a really crisp cut book with nice lines. And then other books like this, I make really detailed and I just keep on going back and I keep adding to it. On this particular page, I didn't want to take away from all the butterflies and stuff, but I wanted to add more to it. So I'm adding just cheesecloth, kind of framing it in so that your eye is drawn into the center of it. So it adds more texture, it adds more personality, but it doesn't take away from the page and your eyes not demanding attention to these little edge pieces. So I think it worked out perfectly like that. I know the video doesn't pick it up perfectly because it's such a light thing, but cheesecloth is a wonderful tool that can add so much personality to your book. I highly recommend it. And I'm adding more. So you can see I'm just kind of going through at this point and seeing what I can do that can just add a little bit more personality to the pages. So with this one, I see the center of my page is just a little too blank and it made me feel just a little bit uncomfortable. So I just go back and just add a little bit more. Now, I could have left it blank. It's just because of the style that book that I'm doing. I'm leaving room that it can be written on, most certainly. I suspect that it probably won't be written on. Whenever I do books like this, I always end up never really writing on them. So I wanted it to be able to be written on if someone wanted to write on it, but I also wanted to be able to be a standalone piece that as they flip through, they can enjoy all of it, and it feels like it's complete. So this one right here, this is where that technique comes in that I was telling you about, reading from the left to the right, because this is such a bold, really bright, this green, your eyes just automatically goes to that, I would say, and then it pops up to the little bingo thing, and then it starts going over to the right. So I have to just be aware of that and try to just kind of dull it down a little bit with these little scrap pieces. And then I want to bring a little bit more over to the butterfly area, but I don't want it just completely that bright. So this is something in between. It's a little brighter than the butterfly envelope, but it's not as bright as the tickets. So I think in real life, the tickets don't look quite as obnoxious as they appear on the video as I look. But you know, I need to go back and look. There's that fabulous fabric again. Love that pair of shorts. Best 10 cents I ever spent. Okay, so here I've just got, it's paint that I got from the dollar store, and if a thing looks too perfect, like that little piece of paper did, I just take a little bit of that white paint on my finger and I kind of rub it on to just kind of buff it up and to make it look like it's been used a little bit. So you can see I've just got this book loaded. evidently not loaded enough. I wanted to create a little bit more movement to that edge. It was just a little bit too linear for me. I wanted it to have more movement, more of a something. So you can see right here, I just kind of try to figure out where to even put this one. So I wanted to add something, but just looking for that balance of where I thought. This is paint, what you see me putting on here. Paint, really, it's inexpensive. This little pot is only $1, and I just have been using it all year. It just goes forever and ever, I swear, because I'm not using very much, but that little bit that I do use, it really makes a big difference. And I'm always using the Distress ink too. A wonderful thing. So I'm trying to decide. I'm not really happy with this page. It just looks, everything just was too linear. I've got the straight box cut rectangle with the beautiful little orchard there. I've got the rectangle for the tag. I've got the rectangle behind it. I've got the rectangle square photo. So I wanted to put things in to just break it up. Okay, as I say this, it's like the ticket's actually kind of rectangle, but it makes your eye move in a different direction. And then I'm breaking the line of that just a little bit with some other things. So I'm just working and playing. Excuse me. I'm just working and playing and just trying different things. And you know, that's what you really got to do. You got to just try it. And you might not love it completely when you're done, but you're going to have learned something new. So the next time you're going to have an idea. So I really encourage you to just play with your stuff, audition it, and just, give things a try. Just kind of place it on the page and see what happens. And then the next day flip through and just see, maybe it'll be something that's just perfect, or maybe you want to, add to it and change again. Lord knows I have changed again many times. Okay, cheesecloth. It's a going. So the book is coming along nicely. I do take a long time to do books. So this video right here is, it's probably maybe 2 hours of work that I just cut down into. I don't know how long this is. Is it 30 minutes? I don't know. But I really put a lot of time and effort into my books. And especially this one, I wanted to make sure that the recipient has a delightful book that is just something that they can enjoy. I didn't want it to do just something simple. So that's why. So thanks for being patient with this book. I know it's taken a long time, but the reality is it's taken me a long time. So with these green tickets, you can see the eye goes to the left, that one on the left, the small one, then automatically it bounces over to the right, and then you see it bouncing up and down to the greens there. And so that's the movement of the eye, at least how my eye moves. The first thing I think I see is that the girl's face, it hits the green ticket right below, goes over to the right, and then it bounces between the two other tickets. I don't know how your eye moved, but that's what mine did. So I felt comfortable with that movement. I felt like it was, it's like even though there's not words on the page that you're reading, you still read the flow of your book. And you want a comfortable flow. You want your eyes to feel good as they go across the page, like they have a friendly place to land, and that they're not just too overwhelmed and not a place, not a home. All right, I'm a little off screen there. Not so good. So you know what? I have other colors of tickets. I just happen to have the green by me, and so I'm using green. It's just so funny as I watch. Green's a good color though. What should I do? A little of this. I think I'm just about done. Okay, that's my book. So keep an eye out for next time. There's other videos, if you look down below, that you can watch of mine. Until then, I hope you have a great day. If you've already subscribed, thank you. I hope you enjoy it. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe if it so fits you. And hit the button down below and you'll know when I have new videos out. I will see you soon. I'm going to video the next part. Have a great day. Bye.